Hey guys, it's Blue Fox, and I'm gonna show you how to downgrade your PS3 with an E3 flasher. I will have this everything to E3 folder prepared for you, download in the description, all these files, everything you need basically. Before you even start this, look at this list and make sure your PS3 is capable of being downgraded past 3.55. This is the list for PS3 Slims. I don't have the one for fat PS3s, but you can Google it if you want. But this tutorial is for no FSM downgrade PS3. Things you're gonna need: pennies. These are 2 different sized Phillips head screwdrivers, tweezers in case you drop screws, some cardboard, some thermal compound, your E3 itself, and then a USB and a micro USB. And that's all the supplies you need. Sit back and relax. Alright guys, the first thing you're going to want to do is insert a USB thumb drive formatted as FAT32 into your PC. Make a folder titled PS3. Inside that folder, update. And inside that, you're going to want to drag the PUT file located in the minimum version checker folder I provided in the download link. Copy the PS3 update.put file and put it on the USB, and then you're going to want to plug that into your PS3 as I do here. Once in your PS3, you're going to want to go to the Settings tab, go to System Update, Update via Storage Media, and it should say Version Check by Ifcaro. If it doesn't, I don't know what happened, re-download it and put it on your USB, and if you hit OK, it says Update version of 3.20 or later can be installed on the system. Since 3.20 is less than 3.55, I am Sapphire Golden. Next thing you're going to want to do is go to this website. I have it under this teardown text in the folder, and go to this link and it has a full tutorial on how to take apart your PS3 Slim. I'm not going to record me doing it. I'm going to show little clips because my video camera is about to die. So yeah, just go to the link, follow the instructions, it's simple, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I just took the screws out of my PS3. I'm just going to show you little clips of me taking it apart. Here I took off the top. As you can see, there's the Blu-ray drive, the power supply. I'm going to unplug the power supply cords, and see you again. Here you can see I took out the Blu-ray drive and the power supply. And coming up here in a second, I took it out of the PS3 hard shell. This is the motherboard and the fan, and I'm going to take off this aluminum covering to the motherboard. And here you go, the motherboard by itself, all the screws right there. There's the E3 clip, and I'm just going to put that on right here. There's the Nord chip itself on the PS3. That's what we're going to attach it to. Just want to make sure you put it on the right way. You're going to want it so it can come out of the hard drive slot. Here I'm just figuring out which way to put it. Right there, that's where I get it. Flip it over. Oh, slipped off 1 second. You want to make sure it has a nice snug fit, or else you're going to encounter errors. Every time I've done this with an E3 flasher, I get errors. Putting a penny on top of it, which I'm going to do in a second, really helps. It makes sure there's even pressure, and it just, trust me, you're going to want to do it. So here I'm just taping down the penny to make sure it doesn't slide around. Looks good to me. How about to you? I'm gonna tape down the ribbon cable because I don't want that being scratched or smashed to where it gets damaged, because then I'd have to solder with the E3 linker and I don't have the best soldering skills. So now that it's taped down, I'm ready to move on. I'm just gonna stick the motherboard inside of the shell of the PS3 where the fan's attached. I'm gonna stick the ports in the back in first, and then it should just easily slide in. I'm gonna tuck the ribbon cable under this hard drive casing. For some PS3 models, you have to slip the ribbon cable through a slot. This has an open hard drive shell right there. That's probably not the right terminology, but I'm sorry. So everything looks good right here. Just gonna press down on all sides, make sure it's good. And it is. Looks good. Thumbs up. Everything looks good. Now what I'm gonna do is get the cardboard I got from earlier. As you can see here. Gonna put it down. This is so when you screw in the fan holding thingy-majingies, don't know what they're called, it doesn't scratch the motherboard or short circuit it. I don't really know, but I watched the guy's tutorial and he said to do this, and that's what I do ever since. Here I'm tightening the last few screws. This is to make sure there's firm pressure on the E3 flasher hooked onto the NOR, because you want a solid contact between the pins to make sure everything goes smoothly. Looks good. I'm gonna tighten it a little bit more. Alright. Now what I'm gonna do is plug in the fan. This is important. If the fan's not plugged in, your motherboard probably will overheat and probably explode. So make sure you plug it in. Very important. And now I'm gonna attach the E3 mainboard to both the hard drive slot and the E3 clip. First I'm gonna attach it to the clip, as I'm doing right here. Wait a moment, please. Alright, it's attached good. Now, oh wait, came undone, 1 second. Alright, it's attached good. Now I'm gonna slide it down to the hard drive port and plug it in. There we go. Okay, should look like that. And if it does, then you're good to move on. Thumbs up. Now I'm going to attach the power supply. Very important component. Without it, it doesn't turn on. Make sure you plug in the cord to this first, since the power supply kind of goes over the port on the motherboard where it plugs in. So just get that in there nice and good. See right here, you want to slide it kind of under, and there we go. Okay, and everything's seated good. So now I'm going to plug in the power button. Alright, so I plugged in the power button, the power supply, the power cord, HDMI. Everything's set up to turn the PS3 on. As you could see, the red button is on the power cord. So now what you're wanting to do is get an SD card, micro SD card. Make sure you have a USB adapter and then plug it into your computer. Now you're going to want to drag the file update.bin and put it on your removable disk, as I do right here. safely eject it unless you want to take a risk in life. Absolutely. Alright, here's my PS3, all set up and ready to go. And what I'm going to do is take the SD card and I'm going to put it on the TF coverboard, as you see me do right here in a second, once I get my camera seated. Okay, so I turn on my PS3, E3 flasher looks good, all the lights light up, and you're going to want switches 1 and 2 down, 3, 4, 5, and 6 up. So 1 and 2 down, the rest up. And you're going to want to wait for TV signal to reach through. That's what I'm waiting for right now. Then I'll show you it. And the PS3 is not going to boot up completely since you don't have your hard drive in. But that's okay, you don't need your hard drive. Here's the error you get. Cannot start. The appropriate system storage was not found because it's on the floor. So here I'm showing you switches 1 and 2 down, rest up. And now you can plug your micro SD into your TF coverboard if you wish to update your E3 flasher. If it's your first time, you're going to want to do this. This update makes it so you can downgrade multiple consoles with the same E3 flasher. I already have the update, so I'm not going to do it. All you have to do is press start and you're good. Alright, so after you do that, you're going to want to empty your SD card and then put it back in the TF coverboard and put switches 1 and 2 down, 3 up, and the rest down. So all down besides switch 3 and you'll be good. Once you have the micro SD card in, just press start and wait for the backup process. It takes approximately 2 minutes per backup, and it makes 1 backup at a time with this update. There's another E3 flasher update that makes 3 backups at once, but that is pointless because they're all identical and you don't really know if you have a good connection. So I advise you do this with this update, and yeah. Here I'm just waiting for the LEDs to pop up. There's 8 LEDs, blue, pop up left to right, then flash back and forth when the E3 is done. As you can see, the first LED just popped up. Second. Third. Fourth. This backup's going faster than it ever has. Don't be worried if it takes a lot longer. Sometimes it takes this long just for the first LED to pop up. But don't worry about it, just wait. It's a long process. This is usually where I get my first errors. Right here I have 1 LED left. If the LEDs don't flash up from left to right, you have an error. Most likely you have to reseat the E3 clip on the motherboard. So if that doesn't work, you can message me on Skype. I will have that in the description. As you can see, the LEDs flash back and forth, it's done. So I'm going to take out the micro SD card and put it in my computer. Alright, on my computer, I'm going to open up my SD card. And here you have 2 files. I'm just going to copy those and put those in the backup folders I have. And delete those off the SD card. And then I'm going to want to open up NOR Inspector. This is to make sure that you're making good backups and everything's going to go good. So I just drag it into here. It gives you all the information on your PS3. As you can see, lowest downgrade is 3.20. As we checked earlier on the ifcaro downgrade checker. And if you click on status, everything should be green and say OK. If it doesn't, again, reseat your clip, you have an error, something went wrong. Okay, I'm back at my PS3 here to make my second backup. You want to make 3 backups just to be sure that If your PS3 gets bricked, you have good backups, good identical backups, and you can fix your PS3. And this is also to make sure that your clip is seated properly, or if you decided to use the TP linker, not the TP linker, the E3 linker, my bad, I have a cold, you can be sure that it's connected properly and everything's good. So I just started the backup process. I know you guys don't really want to watch it since I showed the first one. Just wait for the LEDs to pop up. Same thing, but I'm going to show you so you don't think I'm fibbing you or something. I don't know. LED Uno. And this is also to get a good estimate of how long it's going to take. This whole process took about 2 hours. I didn't record everything because my video camera is awful, as you can see, and it kept dying on me and I kept having to charge it in between clips. Here it's about halfway done with the backup. Pretty much there, and then once this is done, again, I'm gonna plug it into my PC, and then we're gonna check and make sure that this is identical with the first backup we made. Almost done. Wait for the LEDs to flash. There's the last LED, and see, 4 of them light up and they flash back and forth. That's when you know it's done. So I'm gonna take out the SD card and go to my computer. Thumbs up. Okay, I'm back at my computer. I'm gonna open up my backup 2 folder because I want to save my backups. Everything looked okay in the E3 flasher text. Gonna drag it into the folder and delete it off my micro SD card. And then I'm gonna drag it into the NOR inspector. And again, everything's okay, looks good. But then what you really want to do is open it up in the hex editor, go to analysis, file compare, and then source file. You want to compare the 2 backups, your first 2 backups, and make sure that they're identical, so you select them. Alright, open it up, press OK. The chosen files are identical, that's what you want. That's when you know that your E3 is on good, everything's gonna go good, hopefully. If it doesn't, don't sue me, because it's not my fault. Okay. I just went ahead and made my 3rd backup. I didn't record it because I know it's boring and it just takes too long. So I'm just gonna make sure that this is identical to my other 2 backups. I don't really need to put it in the NOR inspector, because if it's identical with the other backups, then we know it's okay. The chosen files are identical. The sign from God. Alright. Now you're gonna copy one of your backups and open up the Habib patcher. Paste it in here, then open up dump patcher. Once in dump patcher, it is going to tell you it found a dump and asks if you want to patch it. Then you're just going to want to type in yes and press enter, and it'll say patching patch, just like that. Then this should have byte reversed your dump. To make sure that at least something happened, I usually open up hex editor and compare a normal dump that was identical with the other ones to the one that was supposed to be byte reversed. That's what I'm doing right here. And as you see right here, they're not identical. That sign did not pop up. So that's good. You're going to want to copy that and put it on your SD card and then plug that into your PS3. And that is what you're going to use to downgrade your PS3. It's not going to downgrade it itself, but it's going to back up your BIOS to the point where it lets you install any firmware. Okay, I'm back at my PS3, and here I'm just gonna plug in my SD card. Gonna have every switch down, press reset. I always struggle to get the SD card in. The way they made that slide, it's just not right. Press reset, then start. And this is a long process, okay? This takes about 15 minutes, I'd say. I'm gonna get a stopwatch and show you guys, but I don't end up filming the whole thing. Sorry about my crappy camera, but I'll just set that right there. By now the backup would have been like 2 LEDs in, but this right here, we're flashing the NOR on the PS3. Before we were retrieving data from the PS3, now we're putting data onto the PS3. So that's good. This is the last step with the E3 flasher itself. Then we're going to put the PS3 back together and downgrade it. My friend just texted me. Cancelled it, the timer's still going. See, it's at a minute and the first LED hasn't even... Oh. Knock on wood. There's the first LED at about a minute 10. Alright, I'm just going to take the timer away because you guys really don't want to watch this for 20 minutes. Because it is a long process. I ended up going and getting food and I came back and it wasn't even done. So yeah. Don't be worried if you're sitting there for a half hour and nothing happens. Just be patient. E3 Flash is not perfect. It takes a long time, but it gets the job done. Here I'm just waiting for the second LED to pop up to make sure it's going good. Come on. Come on. Alright, I don't even care. I'm just gonna skip to the end of this and show you guys. Okay. Almost done. Here we go. I believe there is one LED left. Or no, all of them are lit up. Now I'm just waiting for them to flash back and forth. Alright, they're flashing back and forth. So now I can power off my PS3. I'm going to take out my SD card first. You don't even need to put it in the USB. Just toss it somewhere, don't lose it. Reset the TF coverboard and turn off your PS3. Okay, we're good. Now we're gonna put it back together. There's all the parts I need, and yeah, let's do that. I felt bad about not filming me taking it apart, so I decided to film me putting it back together, which took a while. I encountered problems with the power supply, and then my camera died, which you'll see here shortly. First, right here, I'm taking off the E3 flasher itself. And then, I already applied a thermal compound, but you want to dab it on the processor, the graphical processor, and the heat sinks on the fan to make sure you get a good contact. Now I'm screwing everything in. Lots of screws on the PS3. Lots and lots of screws. I like to make sure everything's tight so I know it's nice and secure. Nothing's gonna happen. Okay, that's it for the main part of the PS3. Gonna plug in the fan, get the bottom case, the hard shell, and put it in. Then there are screws that attach that to the case itself, which I'm screwing in right now. 2 by the hard drive slot, 1 here in the back, and then 1 in the middle. Okay. Now these are 2 small cables which I hate. They're annoying. I don't know what they do. I know one is WLAN. I think that, I don't know, some type of networking. You're gonna have to plug them in up top. Black one's on top, white one's on the bottom. They're a pain to plug in, but I don't know, you probably need them. Seems important to be stretching all the way across your PS3. This white one I had hard time plugging in. I had to unwrap it and give it some leeway. Some Leroy Jenkins. And there you see I got it. And then you want to plug in the Blu-ray drive, the power supply, and the power cord itself to the PS3. Then the power button you're going to want to put in, plug it in, put your Blu-ray drive in. I ended up putting my Blu-ray drive too far forward. Actually what you want to do is put the Blu-ray drive in first, then the power button, but you have to plug in the power button before you put the Blu-ray drive in. Because right here I can't fit my power supply in. That's because the Blu-ray drive is too far forward. The screw didn't go in properly. That made me wonder when I was screwing it in, but I thought, oh, it's fine, but no. So right here I'm just struggling for a second. Whale on shore, don't know what to do, but yeah. Okay, once your PS3 is back together, you want to open up your USB, your actual USB, your USB 2.0. Again, delete the update.pup that you put in the update folder, and you're going to want to put the Rogero downgrader pup in that USB. It's going to take a while. It's a big file, 183 megabytes. It says it's going to take 60 seconds. But you guys can wait. Your men, maybe some ladies. Hey ladies, how you doing? Alright, just wait for this. I'm sure by the end of this video you guys are gonna hate my Iron Cat, but I like it playing in the background, so live with it. Okay, once it's done, eject your USB safely. Of course, you gotta have to do that. And then here, as you see, my PS3 is put together. I'm gonna turn it on. Green light comes on, the hard drive's in. Didn't completely put it back together in case something goes wrong. But here I turn on my monitor and boom! PS3 booted up. Now hopefully it's gonna let us downgrade. If not, maybe the Habib patcher didn't work. Don't know. But that sucks and you have to take apart your PS3 again. Right here I'm showing you I am on version 4.60. Because the E3 flasher itself does not downgrade you, it just allows you to be downgraded. So make sure you do not have a disk in your Blu-ray drive. Plug the USB into the right port, go to update view storage media, and it should say 3.55 Rogero downgrader. Click on that, accept the user agreement, and start. I'm going to show you this full part. I'm not going to speed it up or anything, Because I don't want people saying, oh, this is fake. I don't know why they would say that, but people are stupid. So here, let's just wait for this. It's going to take some time. It's updating. You know that takes a while. Okay, the update copied to the hard drive. Now the PS3 is gonna do a little soft reboot. And you're gonna have to press the button on the PlayStation controller, make sure it's plugged in. Right here. Checking for update data, please wait. Okay, and it begins downloading the update. If you didn't use the E3 flasher, right here you'd get an error. It wouldn't let you download it at all or install it. So yeah, everything's working good. It's installing the downgrade. Your PS3 will be on 3.55 as soon as this is done. 8%, 9%, 8% again, 9%, there we go. Right here, my video camera died on me. I was so upset because I wanted to film the whole thing. But as soon as it hit 100%, the PS3 rebooted. And luckily I got that on film. Right here. PS3 rebooted. And it said Rodro 3.55 downgrader. That's what it'll say when you boot up your PS3 because that's the firmware you're on. As you can see, installed package files, your PS3 is on 3.55 and it is jailbroken. I'm going to go into the system settings, system info, and just show you I'm on 3.55. As you see right there, 3.55, it's the same PS3, I didn't switch on you guys, don't worry. We're good. Hope you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe. I know it's something little, but keeps me making videos. See you guys later. Hope you enjoyed.